Application it means we have to talk the relevance of Kautilya in present time. So let's no. Yes. Ways to write, talk, whatever, isn't it? So let's write on this. Even if क्या even if Kautilya Shastra was written in ancient times. Written in ancient time as a statecraft. Still it has relevance in contemporary times, especially in Indian administration. Especially in Indian administration. Especially in Indian administration. Its relevance, its differences are as follows. First what its differences are as follows. Before we write difference, let me tell, there are some areas where generally, just to tell in advance, there are some areas where people have wrong understanding. Since we have experience of that number of years, we find. So, one is called Mary Parker Follett is considered, people considered her as part of human relation. They write human relation. This Elton Mayo, many a time people forget to write, rather they write about Mary Parker Follett, but she was a transitional thinker. This is one misnomer. Then, next aspect is related to, we find that system theory. In system theory, it started with Mary Parker Follett and Simon. They were all system theorists, but they talk about internal aspect. System per se concept was given by system thinkers, but again people write about Barnard system theory. They don't know about system theory. That is another, let's say, that key aspect people have misunderstanding. So similarly, in paper second also it happens, in GS paper it also happens. Some of the things people have very wrong understanding because they are either studying in that way or they are told in that way. It happens, friction happens, and like quasi-judicial body, people have wrong understanding. That civil society, people have wrong understanding. इसलिए conceptual clarity नहीं है. Right. Civil society, so they write self-help groups. We'll deal you, that topic will also come. Quasi-judicial body, they will start with the Election Commission of India. They think all institutions having power of civil court is quasi-judicial body. But it's not like that. So, there are differences. Means, there is something called generic aspect, there is another thing called specific aspect. Generic, so everything is same. Isn't it? Indian currency, US currency, both are same, isn't it? So, generic is very different. But conceptually, when you talk, so it is different when you start differentiating. So, that is what people, that results into a wrong portrayal in answer when they write. And similarly I will tell in ethics paper, definition of ethics. Most of the people write definition of ethics what society imposes on us. Right. Our evaluators, and we keep saying throughout our programs, don't write this. This. And they keep, let's say, saying it is not a standard definition. But either they have been taught in that way or they know in that way. Many times we wonder what is the source of that definition, because we have never read that kind of definition. This, how come people are reading that? This. So there are many things which we do not find, like say it's not in fact, as far as reading is concerned, it's not one or two books. There is no count that, although I don't want to tell all these things, but there is no count on reading number of books. So, in fact, there are some other books which, let's say, students should not read. Brian and Fry, Mastering Public Administration, very standard book. But ये fry करेगा आपको, isn't it? भेजा fry. But it's such a, let's say that, masterpiece in public administration, mastering public administration. Its cost is international price ही होगा, isn't it? 5,000. बेहतर है फोटो स्टेट ले लो. Isn't it? In that book, it is clearly written, Wilson equated business administration with public administration. But we still don't teach that. It is clearly written that he equated. But what we teach? He business-like rather than equating. This, because we will not take, even if a thinker says something, but whether it will be accepted. Right. Martin considers Wilson talks about fusion. Do we accept it? अब आप लेके घूमते रहो मार्टिन को, isn't it? मतलब आंसर में people write an answer, isn't it? Wilson was talking about fusion later on. Yes, he talked, but there is no proof on that. Right. If you take it as something main aspect of the Wilson view, it is very right. It's your lack of understanding. Peripheral thing, less known thing, you are making obvious thing. Right. That is how the, let's say, challenge. So, but these things are not very, we can say that quite in number, just at here and there, which does not make much difference in your final tally means result. This. So, that does not mean that you should feel it is very confusing. No, not at all.
The first step towards achieving your dreams is having the right coach. Get the best education with Lukmaan IAS and make your UPSC dreams come true. Download the app now.